Hey y'all, we are live. Okay.
Live. We here.
And this ain't gonna be long. So I'm not even gonna do the whole I'm gonna wait a million years. Listen, if you don't want to get this good information that we're about to give you, you're gonna have to catch live, you're gonna have to catch it on the replay. Because me and Bree said that we were gonna be in, we're gonna be out, we're gonna give you guys this information, and then we're gonna let you decide what you want to do with it, okay? But I'm really excited. I think, listen, I was telling AW Bree that like I haven't, I used to be like the live queen. I used to go live almost every day, several times a week, like
I remember,
at least several times a month. Man, I used to be in it, but life and like business is moving in different directions and all of that. So I'm like, I feel like every time I say that I'm doing a live, every time I come on live, I'm backed up. Like I have some stuff that I want to just, pour out. So I'm really excited. A bunch of y'all have followed me from Instagram. So what's up to my Instagram family? How you doing? Check in. Y'all know my rules. If you have been in any AW, which is authentically wed for those of y'all who don't know, if you've been in any space with me, I always say, don't walk into my house and don't say hi. Okay? Don't walk into my house. That's rude. Okay? So make sure when you come in, you say hi. Maybe tell me where you're watching from, all that kind of stuff. But we will do a quick introduction and then we'll get started with the topic of the evening because, baby, it's spicy.
we ready to go. We ready to just let them have it. Let them have it.
All right. So, Bree, tell everybody who you are.
Hello, my name is Bridgette Finister. By day, I'm a financial advisor and an author, and by night, professional dancer and certified yoga teacher. So I'm really helping people become financially and physically and spiritually fit, and that is my goal for 2022 across all avenues. Yes.
I love it. I love it. She's also on our team with Authentically Wed. Specifically over a little, for those of y'all who are not a part, we'll announce that at the end, but she has a specific area that she specializes in, which I'm really excited. If you have been on a live with me where Bridgette was on or anything, I love this girl. Okay, like we connected in the funniest way, but it was literally for God. But I am, for those of y'all who don't know me, I am Vernique Esther. I am founder of Authentically Wed. I am a licensed master social worker. I'm a therapist. I'm creator of the course Heal for Real. Yes. Okay,
yes.
Because
all of those.
I am all things healing, wholeness, and healthy relationships. That's what you'll always find from me. And of course, Jesus, because he's Jesus. So that's the type of content that I bring out. I'm also author of the book, When Seasons Change, a Divorce Recovery Interactive Devotional. So if you've experienced divorce, separation, or a really tough heartbreak, grab my book. DM me if you want to grab my book.
Can we just stop for a second at that intro? I like how you just floated through that. My therapist is always like, I'm gonna need you to take a pause and sit in that. Like, you really it. Like you're that girl. You're that girl.
Am I that girl? Am I her?
You're that woman. You're that woman.
I love it. Thank you so much. It's funny that we're even talking about that. Even in this topic, I think that even something like that, like having an introduction, having a way that I introduce myself that does, I don't even have to think about much anymore, is really in part due to how I have kind of matured and matriculated through my singlehood, which I love that word. I love that I use that word. How I have matriculated through my singlehood, because when I first started AW, by the way, I didn't make a big fuss about it. I should have, but AW turned 3 years old this month.
Oh my gosh. Yay.
AW turned 3 years old. And so we have been, and just the evolution of who I was when we started and who I am now. It really, like, in moments like that where I'm able to introduce myself and just give this brief bio of like, man, one, God is so faithful. Those of y'all who've been around all 3 years, thank you. But two, like, the growth is real. Healing is real. Okay. But I will not belabor the point. For those of you guys who are watching, like I said, say hi. Hey, Bianca. What's up? Okay, watching from Louisiana. Thank you. All right, so we're gonna get started. So tonight, listen, first of all, if you guys want to be mad at somebody, be mad at Bree.
Yeah, it is my fault. I take full responsibility. I decided to choose violence. I did.
She was,
but then you agreed.
I did.
You let me do it. You let me
I
do
did,
it.
but I support everything you do.
So because I feel like so often we live in this world with like a Band-Aid on it, and it's like, just think about when you get a cut, right? You get a cut, and like instead of letting it heal, we put a Band-Aid on it, and like it still hurts, it's still wounded, whatever. Instead of just peeling the Band-Aid off and letting the air get to it so it can heal up so you can move forward, we do that with everything in our life. So I said, just rip the Band-Aid off. We're about to say what it is, because we all been there, we've all experienced it, and here's some reasons why you are single, sad, and stuck. I'm gonna say it with my chest. Why you single? Why you sad? And why you stuck? And I will say that I have been one of those as well. So, point number one: you see singleness as a season. A season meaning it's like a bus stop that you're passing through, and you're not actually like actively engaging in, because you're like, oh, I'm only gonna be here for a while, and you're thinking that life begins in relationship and marriage, when realistically your life can't begin there without it first beginning where you are in your singlehood. And I think so often, like I did it myself for so long. And I feel like I wasted a lot of years in time that I could have been cultivating who I am, that I'm now having to make up for it now that I'm engaged, preparing to be married. And I'm like, shoot, I've got a lot of work to do. Obviously, you never have arrived, but I feel like I could have done so much more if I was more aware.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's such a big deal. That actually is probably one of my favorite points out of everything we're going to make tonight, because I don't think people hear it enough. We all, oh, you're in your, everybody's preaching it from the pulpits. Everybody's saying it on their Facebook pages. Like, oh, your single season. And it sounds cute and it seems like it's encouraging, but what it's encouraging you to look towards a life that you think you don't have access to already. And the thing is, there's fruitfulness and there's beauty here. It is not your single season. Like, you were born into the world. You were born into the world single. You were not born married. You were not born in a relationship, right? Unless you are a twin, you were born in by yourself. And even then, one of y'all came in one at a time. Okay. So it's not a season. It's a part of life. You have to be single in order for you to have any other title in life. And so,
right,
like, we have to stop looking at it like, I love how you said that, like this pass through season. It's not a phase. It's not like when I had my rock phase where I was like listening to Green Day and being extra emo. It just is. It
is being, because I mean, when you think about it, even in a couple, you're still a single. And how do you get somebody who wants to be in a couple with you if you're not even a thing? It just doesn't make sense. So we just have to do better at just like redefining what that is as you as a solo person.
Yeah,
that's like what it is.
Absolutely. And you can't, I know when winter ends at a certain point, right? Summer ends at a certain point. We don't know when that is ending. I think that it brews up bitterness sometimes when we hold on to this idea that it's a season, as opposed to just like, this is just a part of life.
Yeah. And I feel like that segues us into number 2. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go ahead and take that one.
You don't know what season you're in. So singleness is not a season, but you can't define what season you're in. So I always ask people, are you dating and waiting? Are you healing and waiting, or healing and dating, right? I ask people, are you healing and waiting? But you don't know, are you waiting? Are you dating? Are you building? Are you just open, but not really like moving towards anything? Are you absolutely closed off? You don't even know. One week you're like excited about dating. The next week you're like, oh, I don't know, I just can't trust these people. The next week you're like, you know what, I'm open to my options. Like, what season are you in? And this is why you have to navigate your singlehood strategically, because and I'll even give a personal story. Earlier last year, I went through like a breakup situation. Anyways, I went through a breakup situation.
I'm gonna let you pass through that one. Because it's not the time.
Right. But I knew that in order for me, that season, I had to take time away and be closed off to the idea of dating, so I can really re-secure my emotional and mental health. Now, that every breakup doesn't require that.
Right.
And Bridgette is like a great example. One day I just need you to share your story again. I feel
No,
like I need to hear it
Lord,
all the time.
all the things.
But yeah, like it's a great example. Every breakup doesn't require you to stop, pause, and heal. But I knew that mine did, and I was able to. If I was not tuned in and strategic, I would not be able to discern the season that I needed to be in. And I was single for about 5 months. I just
Yeah.
started back dating in like January. So
Mhm.
you need to know what season you're in, and when you don't know what season you're in, you feel stuck and sad because you're wishy-washy. The word of God talks about how you can't be hot or cold, but there's another one, like you're being tossed to and fro by every wind of doctrine. Because your friend is dating, you're dating. Because your friend is bitter, you're bitter. Because your cousin don't know how to date, you don't know how to, like, what season are you actually
Yeah.
in? And
Yeah, I don't
how,
think most
and
people
be
know.
committed to that. Be committed to
Mhm.
that. I know it's crazy weather like in Georgia, but like for the most part, summer commits to being summer until
Yeah.
it's done. Right? Do you have anything to add to that?
The only thing I thought of was this analogy of like it'd be like if you don't know what season you're in, mean you're coming out of your house and you're wearing shorts, but it's snowing outside. You should be wearing a
Yes, that's so
jacket.
good.
So you need to get in the habit of checking the weather, which is like honestly like checking with God before you leave the house. Like look
I
at your
like
weather
that.
report. Look at your weather report and find out, is it snowing? Is it raining? Is it sunny and 75? Like what is the weather, and dress accordingly and attribute that to your season.
Period.
I think will be good. I feel like that is good. And then so then leading into number 3, you're honestly you're dating the wrong people. Like look, let's just be honest, we've all been there, and like I said, all of these things I have done. And so I'm talking to them, talking about it, like saying like, dang, I really was out here just a mess, because we really just go out here and say, oh, I like you, or like he's attractive or she's attractive, or we both like movies. Let's be in a relationship.
Crazy.
But do your values match? Like, do you even want the same things? Like, do you want to raise kids the same way? Is your purpose like? It's just like why do we leave such a huge, like literally the most important decision of our life aside from giving our life to Christ, to chance by just saying, well, let me just get to know them
Man.
and then let me hope that our values match later. I heard somebody say one time, it's like, why are we so stringent on people once we're in a relationship, but we're not as stringent in the vetting process? Why don't you
Yep.
vet them first? Why don't you vet the person and see, should we even be talking? Should we even be having
Yeah.
conversation? Should we even go to that step, and then really just make a decision to say, I'm I think you're a great person, but I don't think we're a great fit. We're just out of alignment, and then move on. But we just get
Absolutely.
so upset about that. But it's just like, no, you literally, it's better to tell somebody in the beginning than to waste your whole life with somebody in 20 years down the line, be like, we should have never got married. Now you've ruined yourself. So I just think that we need to be better about dating the right people.
Hmm. And the only thing I even have to add to that would be you're dating the wrong groups of people. Like if you keep finding, if you met your excuse me, potential somebody at work, and every time you date somebody at work it goes to hell,
You
heck,
should be dating nobody
then
at
you
work.
shouldn't be dating nobody at work. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then or people who are like, oh, I date, yeah, and I date women, men and women in the church, and you're like frustrated about it and all that kind of stuff. Do you not go anywhere else? Like you, if the type of men and the type of women that you want to date don't go to your church, at the very least, go to a different church. Like visit a different church every while. At the very
Literally.
least, go to a concert. At the very, you know what I mean? Like, where do you go? You are dating the wrong types of people.
Mm-hmm.
Which the flip side of that is my next point, which
Mm-hmm.
is you're maybe dating the right people, but you're the wrong person.
Ouch.
So the thing about that is I have a qualm with people who are like, you need to date who you are or something like that, right? The only reason why I have a qualm with that is because I want a man that works out and plays basketball and do all that. I work out, but am I like a workout enthusiast? Maybe not. Do I play basketball? No, but that's what I want. However, I don't think that it's necessary for like I want a man who works out every day. I have to work out every day. I don't think that it quite
Mm-hmm.
works that way. However, here's something. This is gonna step on some toes. I've dated men who are. I love ambitious men, But before I really dug into my healing, I used to be very anxiously attached. So what do you do when you find somebody who is ambitious, which means that they're busy, but you haven't dealt with the anxiety in your heart? So now you are self-sabotaging. You're having unrealistic expectations. You're pressuring this person to be around you constantly, to call you all the time, to do all these things. And I've been there, right? But they're the right person. They're what you want, but you are not in a position to receive what it is that you're looking for because you have not dealt with the matters of your heart. I can't say that I want an ambitious man, but I also want him to sit on the couch with me every day after work doing nothing.
Yeah, it's very unrealistic.
It's unrealistic, right? So maybe you want, there are things that you idealize and you want, but you may not be the person that is in position to partner with that. Oh, that was good. You may not be the person who's in position to partner with that.
I like that. No, I 1000% agree. And at that point, it's you either you change before you meet them, or it's like then you're under the gun. Like you just don't want to take the chance of this being the person that you've been waiting for your whole life, and you fumble the bag. Like, don't fumble the bag at the last minute. Like, get ready so you don't stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Like, just period. Like, in every area of our life, it's like you don't want to feel like you're playing catch up. You want it to be a seamless transition. And like I said, I can say that I thought that I had done a lot of things. I'm like, shoot, there's so many things that I feel like I'm like, now I should have done this and done this. And now I'm like working on things now that I'm like, okay, if I would have taken the last year to focus on X, Y, Z, I feel like it did a lot, but I just also feel like other things were missing. And you're never going to be perfect. Also, we're not going to be perfect. However, you can be very intentional about consistently working. And then you should.
You're cutting out. Sorry.
Somebody called me.
There you go.
Just
no, you're
over.
good.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. So yes, and so then the next phase is you have not invited God into the dating experience. Now I know there's just like this taboo thing to it. One, people say, "Oh my God, God brought this person to my life, and like this is my husband," and the man is like, "God did not tell me that." Like, you know what I mean? Like, where we're being ridiculous. But then there's another space where it's like you just date them and you didn't even ask God, like, yo, how do you feel about this? Like, can we have a chat? And like, he's like, you're over here 6 months of the relationship, and now you're like, God, I'm giving you this relationship. He's like, you didn't ask me on day one.
Been
so
there,
how
looking
about
dumb.
we get into the habit of checking in with God as the process is going? And that's something that changed the trajectory of my dating experience. Whereas it's like checkpoints every step of the way. I told God, I was like, look, I'm gonna give you the relationships, the people that I'm connecting with, and as time goes on, if you tell me this ain't it. And I've been in a situation where I had to let somebody go that I had been in a relationship with, and everybody thought he was like I said, a seemingly nice guy. It's a long old story, but it's a seemingly nice guy. And God was like, no. And I told him, I was like, look, God said this is not it. And I really did my due diligence to make sure I was making the right decision, and I let him go. And that led to, a better situation. So just sometimes it's just that we just get into this unrealistically and just don't even give God a chance to be involved in the process.
Yes, absolutely. And I think too, just to even think to experience, I really have gotten to a point, you get frustrated after so many times of not inviting God. I don't know why. And I think this has to do with, like, for those of us who were raised in church environments where dating was almost like a nasty word, right? Let alone all the other stuff that us were doing. But like, dating was such like it wasn't talked about. It was like this thing that you secretly do, kind of, or it was this mystified thing. It's just so weird. And so we have learned almost to keep God out of that, because like, oh, like, what do you care about, these little things? It's not marriage. It's like, it's either marriage or nothing. And so when you invite God, I realized that when I got fed up truly of doing things the way that I was doing them, that when I was like, God, obedience or nothing. Like, period. I'm going to be obedient in this season of my life. When I tell you, my dating life has been so much more enjoyable, so much more fruitful, and so much more discerning. I have so much more discernment. I have so much more, like, it's easier for me to be like, no, I'm good. And without, and I'm not getting hurt as much because I'm not trying to hide and be secretive and whatever I think that I'm doing, or whatever you think that you're doing when you don't invite God in. It really just It really helps.
Can you
Which is
still hear
actually a
me?
part of. Mhm. Yeah, I
can't.
can.
I'm not getting any sound. I don't know what's going on. Every time we get
I
on
don't
here,
know, but
I
I
have
can
an
hear
issue
you.
with.
It's
I just
okay.
can't hear you. Hold on one second.
So that brings me to, I'll bring her back in, but that brings me to my point, which is that you're not being strategic. So I am not a dating coach. I don't pretend to be. My thing is healthy relationships, healing, and wholeness, period. I'm not a dating coach. I just want to keep saying that because I'm not a dating coach. But there are amazing women that I follow, and a lot of them are able to provide strategy for you on your healing journey. I mean, on your dating journey. But being strategic about dating isn't just about having this 1, 2, 3 step plan. It's also about being clear about your standards, being clear about your boundaries, being clear about, you know what, I'm only going to do things this way. Like I'm not gonna have dates at my house. If you're practicing abstinence, I'm not gonna, I don't know, whatever your thing is, but being sure that you know how you are going to engage. Don't let dating catch you by surprise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you're not strategic in your singleness. Like, I'm sorry, not in your singleness, but you're not strategic even in your waiting. So I don't believe in like idly waiting. But for those of you who are like, you know what, I'm not dating right now in order to really prioritize my life, you're not strategic even about what you're doing there.
Right.
Right? Like, what is it that you actively want to work on? I did a whole thing last year, and I'm gonna do it again. So be prepared, and it's not going to be free. But I did this whole thing trying to teach people how to create healing plans, and people like it went over their heads until until I started offering like a part of my consultation, and everybody was mind blown. I created a literal workbook, but the point of the matter is that you have to be strategic in whatever season you're in, which is why you need to know what season you're in, right?
Right.
If you don't know what season you're in, you cannot be strategic. So if you're waiting, what does that look like for you? Does that mean that you're working on healing? Does that mean that you're working on building a business? Does that mean, and you don't, and everybody does not have to build a business, for goodness sake. I just wanted to say that. Does that mean that you're working on purchasing a home? Does that mean that you're like, what is it that you're doing in this season? You need to be producing fruit in every season of your life.
Mm-hmm.
In every season of your life, whether that's emotional, financial, mental, relational, you should be producing season. And if you're not strategic, you will find yourself barren season after season after season.
And that's when life and years and decades go by, and you turn around and you say, what have I done? And it's like, how can you expect to get somewhere without a plan of some sort? Like, you have to literally make a plan for your existence. And that includes dating and waiting and whatever space, like you said, whatever space you're in, and then you revisit it on a consistent basis. Really go through and systematically say, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, and I'm moving through. And your life will be so much more successful because now you have checkpoints. I just think so often we just exist and we forget we have to like have a plan of action, and somebody has to do it. You can't wait for somebody else to do it for you, because what makes you think that this man or woman of your dreams is going to want to be with you if you have no plans? Let's say the man or woman of your dreams showed up to you right now. Would they want you? And I had to ask that to myself.
Goodness gracious.
There's some questions I had to ask myself that too. And like I said, obviously it's a growing process for you, but there was a period of time where I was like, I don't think I like who I am coming across as like a partner and a person. So what now I need to do to make the changes so I can become a person who would be worthy of the quality of person I'm looking for. And that's like, that's huge. That's huge. So yeah.
So the next one, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Our next one is, I'm sorry, y'all. It's been super windy. It sounds like I don't even know what's going on outside. The next one, and Bree, you can take this one. You don't have healthy community that encourage you in your singlehood instead of making you bitter.
Yeah. So We cannot do life alone. The Bible, literally, the Bible's there, God's there, church is there to encourage us to do life with other people. No man is an island. You just cannot exist alone. We cannot live alone. We can't work alone. We cannot exist without utilizing other people. Why? Because other people help us bounce ideas. They help us grow. They're like, one pastor said they're like emotional sandpaper. They really charge you and cause you to just become a better person, to see things from different perspectives. Then also, how does God grow us into be the people we need to be if he doesn't have other people for us to practice on? It's really just for us to have community. Community has been here forever. So stop running from community and don't think that you can do this on your own. Just think of all the great ideas that you had that you didn't tell nobody, that after you did it, you were like, I wish I should have told somebody so they could have told me not to do that. Remember American Idol? Remember how people used to just show up to those auditions and do those auditions? Sometimes I used to think, like, did they run this by their family?
Right. Where are your friends?
Who are your friends? Like, I wish somebody would let me go out there and look stupid. And that is just how we exist in life. Sometimes we're like, I don't need to ask nobody nothing. Guess what? You went out there and made yourself look like that meme with the clown face. They're putting on the makeup. We just need to learn to do that in, like, not even just specifically just general community. It's just like, even like as a woman, I should have other women that I'm talking to, married women, single women, kids with women with kids, women with not kids, because everybody has a different perspective, and God uses all those people to pour into you and bless you and give you exactly what you need to exist in life. And by not actively engaging in community, we're setting ourselves up for attack. Just think about in the wild, when there's an animal alone in the wild, guess what? It gets eaten. But when you're in a pack, you got people who somebody can distract them. Somebody, you know what I mean, can fight for you. You need people who are going to be able to have your back when you're out in the wild. Otherwise, you're going to get devoured. And it's about time, like I said, as far as that strategy goes, it's about time that you implement that strategy with utilizing community so that you can come up with a better strategy to live. Because if you do the same things you've been doing, you're going to get the same results. And if you don't like it, you got to make a change. And so maybe you should start enlisting some other people to help you be better. And you'll make them better too. It's a give and give. And honestly, your life will be so much richer. Like, I mean, I've told you for since I met you, like, just having you just even be in my life in small capacities, and now it's grown into a bigger space. Like, just my thought process and just my dedication to God and just has really changed me. And just imagine who you never would have met. Just think of what, it's like just being in community with other people really grows you into being who you need to be. And if you're not in community, you need to be in community. This is your call to action. Get in community.
And I want to just reiterate a point that you made, which, like, you need, and specifically talking to women, but men too, you need married friends, you need single friends, you need friends with kids, you need friends with, like, you need them across the spectrum. Why? Because you want to gain from different perspectives. But here is the key. Excuse me. One of my good friends and our resident sexologist, Christian sexologist, Brittany Smith, she talks about how she's pro-pleasure, right? And how God is pro-pleasure. Well, I also want you to find people who are pro-singlehood, okay? People who are not trying to rush you out, or people who are not trying to hold you in. You need people who can speak to the goals and to the calling and to the assignments that you have, right? It's not beneficial to you to keep the same friends around and the same people around you, and you're not moving anywhere. You're not elevating. You're not growing. You're not maturing, right? So you need to have people who encourage you in your singlehood instead of making you bitter, instead of making you depressed, instead of making you feel behind, instead of making you feel rushed. Like, and also get you some married friends that are going to hook you up. Okay. I am big.
Them referrals.
Thank you. Listen, that's going to hook you up. Some people that's going to teach you how to cook, teach you how to whatever. I am a big, and you guys will, I will say this until the day I die, I am a big proponent of Titus 2 ministry. The older women teach the younger women. The younger women serve the older women. And same thing for the men, right? We need, you don't need to just be sitting around like, oh, well, Madam such and such didn't come talk to me after church. No, as a single woman, as a young woman, you go up to Miss Brown and you ask if you can babysit her kids. Don't get me on my soapbox. You go over there, you ask if you can if you can take her out to coffee, and so that way you can learn something. So you can find out, you know, how it is that her marriage is so strong, or what is going on. I have women in my life who look after me, y'all. They look after me like I am their own daughter. When I was sick with COVID, they were looking out for me. When I was going through my divorce, they were looking out for me. But the thing is, I sought them out. I didn't just sit around and wait for these women to be my friend or to take ownership of me. I was in their face. I asked to babysit their kids and I took them out to lunch. What are you doing?
No, I 100%. I literally was going to say the same exact thing you said. Like, mentors are not going to come knocking on your door. Guess what? They're busy. They're booked. They're busy because they have the life that you want. And so if you want that, you're going to have to approach them. I had women and still have women that poured into my life, that prayed for me, that really talked me through some stuff when I was going through it, and or the reason why I'm standing here today. And how can you become that for somebody else in the future if you've never even seen the example of it done in your own life? And I think that's where we're lacking so many bitter people, whatever, because these bitter people become married bitter people, and now these married bitter people are mentoring younger people and or other people, and now they're mentoring bitterness. I don't want a mentor that's bitter and angry, because this is going to make me bitter and angry, and I'm going to make somebody else that way. And so I seek out people that are the way I want to be, and I say, I don't know what I need to do, but I need to be like her. And I need to figure out what that is, and focus on those things, and you'll see how people change you. And it literally in all different phases. I have mentors in business, I have mentors in the church, I have mentors in dance. Like, literally in every space, I find somebody I'm like, I want to be like you. And try to emulate that. And that is how we will get better in life. And in turn, you'll become that for somebody else. But you need to learn how to be a good example.
Yes. And I know I harped on the marriage part, but even like you said, the single part, the business part, the whatever. The reason why I actually connected with Bree, a lot of people don't know this, but well, one, I won't tell the original unless you just don't care. But one of the reasons why Bree is my friend today is because I think I sought you out. Like, I kept messaging her and connecting with her because I love the way that she lived out her life. I remember when she got into that relationship before, and then I think I just asked her about it, like, how are things going? Like, I would check in with her. And then later on after that, when I found out that they broke up, and she talked me through what that situation, I learned, so it turned light bulbs on, y'all. She probably don't believe me if I say this, but she is literally one of my like standards or like highlights, women I look up to as a healthy single woman because of how she carried herself. So it doesn't just stop at married women. Learn how to be a good single woman. Connect with other healthy single women. So anyways, I'll get off my soapbox because I'll say.
Well, I appreciate you. And I'll say you did the same for me. In on the back end, you did the exact same for me. I learned so much just from hearing you speak, and just being in this group has changed me. And it's just like I said, can you imagine if you had never decided to start a space for people to hold space? Like, we live thousands of miles away from each other. We haven't even ever met in person.
That's crazy. I just thought about
that. I'm like, what? And I feel like you're one of, like, I tell you something, like, we've had deep conversations that I might not have had with other people, and we've never even met in person because it doesn't matter, But you said yes to creating a space, and then just joining a space and making yourself open to other people. Connections happen. You just never know how your life is going to change. So it's important. It's very important.
Absolutely. The next point is you're not maximizing your singleness. You feel single, stuck, and sad because you're not healed. Now, the caveat to this is I teach healing as an evolution, right? As a lifestyle. There are things that you're going to move through your life and have to heal or heal again or whatever, but you don't even have the tools to heal. You don't even know what to do, where to go. You've tried therapy, but you're not consistent. You've talked to a pastor, but not all the time. Whatever it is that you have tried to, you exercise. Solange said, I tried to dance it away. Like, you're doing all of these different things and it's not working because this goes back to strategy, but you're not healed. And I promise you, y'all, I just made a post about this on Instagram. Dating healed is a game changer. It's a game changer. Like, you experience just the way that you wake up in the morning and breathe every day is different. Like, you're not waiting by the phone for that text. You're not waiting for somebody to take you out. You're not sitting around like, and even if I wasn't dating, taking time away from dating healed is a game changer as well. I'm not focused on what I'm missing out on. I'm not looking over my shoulder and like envying everybody who's in a relationship. I am secure in who I am and where I am in the season that I am in, how I'm operating my calling and my assignment. So you're not healed. Now, small plug, if you're really serious about your healing, one, I'm a therapist. I'm about to run out of slots I opened some more slots in the 5 I said, but I'm about to shut it down. My emails are in shambles. I'm a therapist if you're in the state of Georgia. The other thing is, excuse me, I have my coaching course, Heal for Real. And if you're interested in that, I cannot speak. If you're interested in that, shoot me a DM. And what I'll do is, because it's really jam-packed and I don't like to just give it away to anybody. So if you're serious about healing, hit my DMs, type H4R, so H, the letter 4R, and I will send you my free masterclass. And it'll give you the first few steps. And if you're diligent in that, then we can talk about getting to the course and really walking out your healing. But I'm telling you, this is no gas. Healing and being single is like knowing how to heal, having the tools, having the insight. It's a different ball game. It really is. Even if there are things that you have to constantly revisit. I've had triggers while I've been dating people. I've had moments where I'm like, oh, this reminds me of such and such, or this experience or whatever. I have the tools and the knowledge base so that it doesn't trip me up as I continue on in my dating and in my singlehood.
Right. No, I agree. And y'all not utilizing this resource that's here in this group. Like, look, let this be the year that you decide to finally invest in yourself, and let it be the best year of your life because you did.
Please.
And all that's next point being living a full and well-rounded life, which just means honestly living. Like, are you coming home and sitting at home every day watching Netflix? Or are you going out and experiencing things, like trying new things, meeting new people, just putting yourself out there and just becoming a well-rounded person? Like I said, if the person of your dreams met you today, would they meet you and be like, yes, this is the person of my dreams? Or will they say, ooh, this is not the person of my dreams? And you don't want to get caught in that space being, you could have been the person of their dreams, but because you literally are not existing in life and like taking advantage of experiences and growing and learning and doing and just being a fun, happy, just engaged person,
lighthearted.
Like you could really ruin your chances. And it'll make it go by so much faster. Like you'll turn around and look and be like, I didn't even realize I'd been single that long. And the person walks into your life and it's like, well, I enjoyed that life and now I don't have any regrets. And now I can couple up and go towards marriage and not feel like, oh, I'm missing something. So many people I feel like get married and they're like, I wish I was single again. It's like, no, you should feel like you lived all the aspects. And now you're ready for a new season. It's like, do all the things and then move on. But don't put yourself on the sidelines and then get with a person. And then now you're tormenting this person because you don't know how to live.
Yes. And you're like expecting them, because you've been sitting and waiting. Now you're expecting them to, like, you're putting all this pressure on them to give you the life that you didn't live yourself. like you're putting all this pressure. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. And they're like, wait a minute. Like, that's a lot of pressure to put on somebody to give you the last 20 years of your life that you forgot to live or that you chose not to live. Right? Create new memories and have first-time memories with people and experiences with people. But don't let it be the stuff that you could have had on your own and then built on top of. We really feel, I think we have this finite view of what building looks like. And listen, I can start off with a shack and then build into a tower. I can start off with a ranch and build into a duplex, like whatever, right? But stop looking at I'll say this. I made a post about this. I have lived a really good single life. And I really got to a point. I remember feeling like, dang, like, is there anything else that I'm missing? And God has just been adding to my bucket to where it's overflowing. And I'm excited about the different things in my life. But y'all, there is nothing, honestly, at this exact point in time, there is not much that I can say like, dang, I wish I did this at this time. I bought a house. I started businesses. I've spoken in different places. I've chased after dreams. I've made mistakes. I've gotten back up. Like, I have lived a full single life and I'm still living in it. And I'm excited about what there is to come, as well as what's on the other side of this. But like, live. I go out, y'all. On the weekends, you will not catch me at home. I live. I'm going out to a new restaurant. And I do. It's people mad at me right now. There's somebody mad at me right now because they're trying to take me out. And I was like, man, you got to catch me, dog. Like, you ain't made no plans. On Fridays, I'm going out. On Saturdays, I'm going out. And so live. And I make it a point to, like, on the weekends to do stories and stuff. So people see me living, so you know that you can live too.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. And I can say the same thing about me. Like, I just tried a lot of things. I've had experiences that
Girl,
most people have never had,
professional
just because
sports dancer. Yeah.
I just decided to just take a chance on myself. And I got a lot of no's, I got a lot of yeses, but I was like, you know what? I did that. I went and I did it. I put myself out there in a lot of spaces. I fell on my face, had to get back up, had a lot of dark days, had a lot of light days. But
Yeah,
overall, I was like, you know what? I put myself out there, and I feel good about that. So hey,
absolutely.
we live in.
Yeah, girl. And look, you're about to transition into your next, so that's exciting. But yeah, so here's the last one. The last one is the reason why you haven't maximized your singleness. The reason why you feel single, stuck, and sad
Tell them why.
is because you have not joined Single Fi Single.
What is that?
Child, Single Fi Single is our new authentically wed auxiliary. We have tried to, I'm gonna be honest, we've tried to launch it a couple times, but I think that now is really the time. That is what this is actually Bree's her part of AW. This is where she gets to be lead over, what she gets to be lead over. And I feel like I'm her I'm her second, okay? But this space is all about women specifically right now. Women living like, I'm sorry, women having a space to uplift one another, having a space to support one another, to learn, to experience professional development, spiritual enrichment, to have a safe space to commune and to connect. Like, it's the it's almost like a girl gang, but like a little bit more. It's funny because
Yeah. Yeah, well,
when
because we
me
were
and Bree
talking
were
about
talking
it, and
about
we
it,
were like, no, because we were like, we don't want people that we don't want this to be, and no offense, because we love the Lord, but we don't want this to be another frou frou, like, oh Jesus, like, you know what I mean? Like, like, look,
like,
we
oh,
love
what
God,
has
but
the
we be
Lord
in the
done for you
streets.
today
We be in the
in your
streets.
singleness?
We love the Lord, and we are in the streets. So we try to
Period.
connect like that because we are real people living real lives with real stuff that love
Mhm.
Jesus, and we just want to connect. And we're booked, we're busy, we got a lot going on, but
Yes.
we want to take very specific times that are not super crazy on the calendar. It's not a super lot
Yep.
of time, but it's like little checkpoints. Once a month for an hour, we just talk. We have a little impromptu Bible study and really dispel some of these things that we're being told in the church, support each other, and refill each other for another month. And
Hmm.
complete with, like I said, just different spaces and ways for us to get better. So whether that's we're gonna learn how to do our makeup, or learn more about fashion, or learn about etiquette, or whatever we got to do to level
Yep.
ourselves up so we can be the one we need to be in
Learn
every
about your
way,
money, because
in
that's Bree's
everything.
thing.
Yes.
Leveling up in your finances. How do you invest? How do you save? What type of, how do you fill out them doggone work forms, the W-2s? Like,
Like,
we're
literally, yeah, no, for real. Like,
everything.
everything, every area. That way, when you meet that person and you get into that space, you're like, bet I got this. You're an asset and not a liability. And
Come on
that's what
now.
we're all trying to be. And just honestly, just create a space of support. That's not, like I said, that's not super cheesy or super corny or super intensive, because we don't have time for that. So
Yes.
we want y'all to join us, because we really about to make 2022 the best year of our life after some of the worst years of some people's lives. We about to
Yeah.
turn it around, and God has his hand on it, and y'all need to join.
Exactly. So Single Fi Single is like, it's a subset of our organization just for single women, so that way we can connect and love on each other and learn together. And so this is my way of providing mentorship. And God, like, mentorship has been something that God has placed on my heart, but I've been like running from, because I'm like, no, like, I don't know. Does anybody need to be following me? I mean, people follow me, but like, do y'all need to be like that close? But yes, yes, and the time is now. If you want a supportive, non-judgmental group of Christian women that you can rally around and connect with, join our Patreon, y'all. You pick how much you pay. You pick it, and the thing is, the price is not even about like giving back to us. It's literally just to keep things running, because we have expenses. But you're paying whatever you want to whatever you want to get this level of support. We're going to bring in experts in different categories. Right now, we're starting off with one time a month, but it's its own platform. So you can ask questions. We can key. We can giggle, as my friend Becca says. We can talk about periods because I'm tired of like trying to slick post about it in AW. We can talk about like, you know, what new makeup is out. I'm not really big on makeup. I'm not sure how to do it, but I want to learn. Like, you have, it's its own group. A lot of y'all have been asking me to have the woman's only AW group. This is it, but just for singles, just for single women. And we're providing this space so we can mentor you, love on you, encourage you, uplift you, and teach you something. All right. So,
yeah. So y'all
that's
need
pretty
to
much
join.
it. Go to patreon.com/authenticallywed, right there on the screen, patreon.com/authenticallywed. You sign up, and we're going to do the kickoff in a couple weeks, I think. Or do we have something next week?
We'll announce it.
We'll announce it in the group.
Yeah.
But all you have to do today, because I don't want you to forget, go in there, choose however much you want to pay, and you're in. That's it. No weird membership, no weird handshake. You don't have to be nothing. And we respect all, whatever woman you are, however you show up as a single woman, we embrace that. And we're here for you.
Yeah. And we need that. We need that because we're all different and we all will impact each other in different ways. I don't want 12 of the same friends. We want community that can bring some culture, that can bring some differences, that can bring some perspectives, we just want to support each other and watch each other flourish and champion each other as we go through these seasons of life into marriage. And then look, we might form a married girl group. Who knows? But right now,
and we do have some people.
And I'm excited.
But yeah, me too. Me too. I'm really excited. So y'all make sure you join patreon.com/authenticallywed, and you'll be into Single by Single, women's only safe space. All right. That's all I have.
That's it. We're going to let the people go because we did keep them longer than they wanted, but it was good. So
that's my fault.
It's fine. Just join. And we're going to continue these conversations. They're going to be good. We going to be sipping tea. It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
All right. Good night, y'all.
Bye.